I'm here with firefighter Dominic Viramontes of the Los Angeles County Fire Department. We're here to ask him a couple questions about being a fireman and his profession. First of all, I'd like to start off with, what's the most rewarding part of being a fireman?
The most rewarding part of being a firefighter is that it provides a living for my family. That's all. It's nothing glamorous. It's not about saving people. It's not about running into fires. It's not about getting your hoo-haws because you think you're a big old macho man. It's a job, and it allows me to provide for my family.
Engine 29, first on scene. It's three-story apartment complex over garage.
This is John Captain from FireFight. Go ahead. What progress do you have? We're still not firing on the second floor. We're turning. We just need lead building.
So walk me through the typical procedure of a structure fire, particularly the video we just watched.
The typical procedure is that there is no typical procedure. Anyone that tells you you always this and you always that, that's a fireman, probably hasn't been on very many real fires because each one is unique and each one needs to be reacted to, not acted upon, and there's a big difference. My particular crew, we've been together for 8 years. The core of my crew, which is myself, my partner, another firefighter, and our engineer who drives us to the fire. We've had a couple different captains, but when I refer to my crew, that's what I'm referring to. My firefighter partner and my engineer. That particular video we just saw, previous knowledge of the building, my engineer knew exactly where to put the truck to do what we needed to do. Fire is blowing out of the second story.
Firefighters have a unique schedule. Does that ever interfere or make domestic life any harder?
It can. We work a 24-hour schedule. It means we work 24 hours at a time. When it's we come to work at 8 in the morning, we don't leave till 8 the next morning. So yeah, it can make your home life a bit difficult. My children are probably better suited to answer that question because they're the ones that are affected. And firefighters find out real quick if they have a strong woman or not, if they're married to a woman. That's, because she's home by herself for at least 24 hours a day. So a strong woman is very important.
It seems to me, just talking to people, that a lot of people don't realize firefighters go on things other than fires. They seem to think that a firefighter is strictly labeled to dealing with fires and nothing else, but on this video, obviously, you were dealing with what looked like a car accident. Walk me through what happened and how you went about dealing with it.
It's true, we do go on more than fires. In fact, the reality is about 80% of the calls we go on are medical in nature. And ultimately, car accidents are medical in nature. In this particular film, we had a person trapped in this vehicle. There's no other way this person was going to get out of this car unless we cut the car open. So that's our job. And one thing that stands out to me in that video is you can see the four of us. You see my crew and our captain. And everyone's moving. None of us are talking, right? Communication is huge. If you play a sport, if you play football, you play baseball, they're always talking, talk, communicate. When you're with a crew for long enough, you don't have to say anything to communicate. I mean, I don't know, that really stood out to me in that video, is we all knew what we needed to do. We were all helping each other do it, and no one was saying a word to each other. And that's the sign of a good, solid crew. We got that person out. He had minor injuries, but Yeah, we do go on more than fires. Communication is huge, and I like to say 90% of all communication is nonverbal, and that's some proof of it there in that video.
Nobody outside your world can ever know this feeling. In any other uniform, you get streets named after you. In this one, you risk your life to save people until one day you run out of chances, and at one final fire, either you buy it or you don't. And yet there is no third way that you'd ever leave this job, and you're doubting even God knows why. When you hear a familiar voice saying, "It is worth it," and you're hearing this voice, and there's nobody there but you. It's a quiet voice from nowhere saying, "It is worth it." Fireman.